Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing all right. I am doing all good. It is a beautiful March afternoon. This is a bit earlier than I would normally do a little whip round, but yeah, just wanted to show off the Clematis Armandii there on the left. At the moment, it looks like really nice cottage garden style plant with them flowering so profusely and being a bit simple flowers, but for my money it's also might be the best jungle climber you can get. Notice I said jungle, not tropical or exotic. I think if you were going that way, you'd probably want showier flowers like the passion flower. But this thing, evergreen, hardy, easy to get. It's quite prolific, and the foliage is quite sort of big and not sort of sparse, if you know what I mean. It's very full and voluptuous, if you want to say it that way. But yeah, you can see just how much it's flowering there. This one's in sun. Like this section here, there's definitely more flowers than there are leaves. But pretty easy to do. This is going into its third year now from when I bought it. And yeah, it's just going on and on. You don't have to do too much. I've got like a trellis going up that fence, but otherwise, apart from guide them in the right directions, I'm currently trying to get them across this wire. There's another one over here, which is slowly making its way over as well. This one's flowering quite well at the top. I think it flowers more where the sun hits it, but we still got some down here. This one's in more shade, if you see what I mean, apart from the top of it, so it's probably why it's not quite as full as the other one, which was in full sun. But like I said, evergreen, hardy, it'll just go some. So if you want to cover something, yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. Closest thing to it, in my opinion, is the giant honeysuckle, which is next to it, though this one is very hard to get hold of and is not hardy. It is quite like crazy growth on it, but it also gets where I am sort of it'll grow so much a year, but then 50% of that will get sort of frosted off, and then the wind will strip the leaves of it, like that one at the very end, which we'll see at the moment, sort of over the corner of the pergola, which I was really hoping would stay alive because it's the main one. Not that I'm bitter, but yeah, there you go. But it's looking quite good. I think it just needs some sun, a good run of sun like today, and hopefully it'll look a bit better, because it's starting to just, I'm still worried about the honeysuckle, I must admit. Apart from that, down here we've got Scots pine, which I repotted, and this monkey puzzle, which I'll just put in here for now. You may notice these strange growths in the top of it. They're not strange growths. The kids saw me delving out some of the fish blood and bone and chicken manure pellets, and decided to help me throw them. And I think there was a slight misunderstanding when I said throw them onto the flower beds, because they just ended up everywhere. So I'll give that a brush off or whatnot. So yeah, so moving around here, the only other thing I've really done of note is put a Nephrolopis down in there. It's last chance saloon for it, but we'll see if it survives or not down there. I just need something really evergreen and not sort of feathery, spiky like the sago palm there, just to fill that area. So we'll see if that works, and if not, we'll make a decision. We may as well carry on around this way. So in this bed, the camellias are just sort of finishing flowering now. They've been quite nice, and they sort of brighten up those dank, dark winter days. This Dicksonia is sending up some new growth. Got a nice new big crozier coming up towards us. There's one at the back there. One down there. So yeah, this thing's going some now. Something seems to have triggered it. Same with this smaller one, which is a year behind at the back. I don't know if you can see it in there, but there is a crozier dead center, a couple of them. So that's good. And then really the only other thing of note in here is the giant honeysuckle. It seems to have abandoned a couple of bits there, and the leaves are starting to curl, which tells me that it's pulling its resources from that area for one reason or another. But we have some growth there on the right, so yeah, we'll just, this is the, this will be this, it's not even been in a year basically, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll see if we can get that one going. Otherwise, most of this looks okay. So good stuff. So finally, with these pots that are going around these pergola bits, I've taken that one apart. We'll go and have a look at it in a second, but I did take some precautions with them. I either sat on a bed of pea gravel and then wrapped it in rubble sack and put some bamboo down there so the air could get down. Did it make a difference? It doesn't seem to have made any difference because it's quite wet, and as you can see, hopefully, the wood was starting to rot away a little bit. I mean, so much so, actually. I'm going to leave that another week to dry because it's only been a week and it has been raining, but so I want that to dry out properly, and then I'll make a decision on this one here. The reason I did that one really was because the passion flower and the snapdragon that were in there had died, so I may as well have done it. These two are still alive just about, so yeah, we'll see how that post ends up, and hopefully I can leave this one in until the end of the year, the end of the summer, and then I'll take it out. But if that looks a bit ropey, then I'll take it out straight away. Might try and get something in the ground. Obviously, the posts are concreted in, and it's a bit of a patio walkway area. So yeah, I'll see maybe in these little grey triangles that are in front of them as we're looking at them. Maybe if I can get a spot in there, I might be able to get something in the ground. I mean, to be honest with you, the only thing I think that will survive the traffic would be ivy, which I'm not complaining about. I did me crack in the earth, or landslide, which is covering up me not having enough earth to make it into a slope. So yeah, you can just see a couple of weeks ago I put the Mundo grass in there, the black grass. I'll get probably 5, 6, 7 more of them and do it. I've also laced that with wildflower seeds, so we'll see if anything comes up on that. In this centre bed, nothing's dead yet from the move a couple of weeks ago. Buddleia's going great. Fibrosa's going great as well. Got itself a nice little baby trunk on it as well, so that's good. This Dicksonia seems to be all right. We've got crow's ears coming up down there, so happy days. And the bananas spat out half a leaf. So yeah. If you're wondering why these pots for the bamboos are so far up out the ground, they weren't. They were actually, the top of them was level with the top of the edging. It's just when I was moving them around, some of the barks got into them. So they do go down a little bit, and they stay that height because when the patio's done, which you may or may not notice is a lot higher than this side, I'm going to build this level up, drop another couple pallet loads of bark around the playing area to bring it right up to the top of the edging, so the pots will end up flush with the floor when that's all done. But that's waiting for me to do the waterfall before I put all that down, because I don't want to do all the mixing up on top of a new patio, so we'll take that out when we do all the waterfall. But enough of that. No birds on the bird feeder yet. That's 2 or 3 weeks it's been out with nothing there. A couple of them have come to investigate. I don't know whether it's because there's a lack of cover there, but hopefully when the buddleia gets up, it'll do it. If we stay down here, tiki heads, I've given them some hair, some 2 heart's tongue ferns, so we'll see how they go. There was Jurassic Golds in there originally, but I think it just ran out of sort of nutrients, whereas these, you see them growing out of cracks in walls and things like that, so hopefully they'll be okay. Scheffler, not sure what to do with that yet. If we move around this way, this crozier is still there, no matter how hard the kid seems to hit the football in this area. So that reminds me that I'm going to build a little fence across here, because he came out the other day and was kicking his ball and it was going in there, and I was just like, God, please. I lost 3 or 4 fronds last year from footballs or me being an idiot, and it only spat out 3 in the end, so that was more than half. So I'm going to try and be a little bit careful with them. I've made some steps. I was trying to marry up with what I did over the corner over the other side by using 4 like steppy bits, but I didn't clock at the time that those steps go a lot further out. They sort of come all the way to the middle of this patio bit on the left, or the equivalent. So just going to stay, it doesn't flow very nice, that, so I'm just going to make 2 big steps out of the offcuts of this sort of pergola wood somehow. So we'll see how that does. Hydrangea Samania is definitely looking a little bit worse for wear. It's got a load of black on it, but it's growing quite well, as you can see at the top there, and even better, it's decided to creep across over to there and go up that way. So that might, hopefully, I'm not going to train that anyway and just see if it grows up as like a little sort of bush, because they're quite woody hydrangeas, aren't they? So it might be able to support itself. That could look quite nice. Yeah, down here is not looking too bad. I think it all just needs a bit of sun now. It's all a little bit tired, like we all are, of the grey days and the constant rain. Down here, I got a cheap cyclamen for 50p, so I just thought I'd chuck that. What the hell's that? Huh. Oh dear. I would really, 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 really love to say that that is a hedgehog, but I suspect it's a rat. Okay. Yeah, coming up right behind the hydrangea, which is the one plant I don't want it to, because it's struggling. So we'll have to fill that in. They'll probably just dig their way back in. I guess they're quite good because they eat slugs and snails, I would guess, but I don't know, what is it, probably diseases and stuff like that. So yeah, this cyathea cooperi sent out a kind of warped one. That's because the crosier was half out when we had our last little nip of cold. Not saying we're not going to have any more, but that one, yeah, so it just affected it. They're a bit sensitive when they're in their sort of out rolling phase, but we'll see. New ones coming up there on the right, so hopefully that'll be quite good. I've already been taking out our old mate, the bindweed. There's a bit more there, so I'll do that again. This Dicksonia, we've got a crosier coming up there, and it looks like a bit of a bigger one down in there as well, so that's happy days. The lophosoria, which was one, I had a big one that was in the sun that I didn't water, which then I divided to move it, and the other half died. This one's doing all right. The back end of it, as in the big bit, I think is dead, but you can see we've got a nice crosier coming up from here, so that's good. Chopped the Polysticum Herrenhausen fern right down just because it was looking rough. I'm not sure that's alive, but we'll find out. This Cyathea cooperi just looks like he's sending out next frond. So yeah, that's good. Scheffler is bulking up on its leaves at the moment. These leaves seem to be a bit bigger than they've been for the last 6 months, especially like these ones on this side, so getting a bit thicker, if you see what I mean. What's this? Pilostagia verbonoides, looking great down there, a bit sparse up there, but these are slow growing, so we'll give that a chance to get going. Canna's sending up a few little prongs. We put a tetrapanax in there. The Scheffler just dropped one of its 2 leaves that it had that were all curled up, and the whole stalk sort of went brown overnight, so I think it gave it the go. So I've potted it out the front just to give it a chance in case it sat in boggy ground there. But the T tetrapanax that came off, because that's a pup, did really well where it is now, and then I moved it, that first one we saw. So hopefully that one will do quite well there. Gonna have to dig down underneath the dinosaur to put a soak away in for any rainwater that sort of gets down the back or whatever of the waterfall. And then yeah, wollemi's looking really good. It looks like it's just ready to rock and roll, so happy with that. Lophosoria, a little bit worried about it. No protection on it apart from a thing of leaves like I do with the Dicksonias. We've got few little crosiers sticking their head up, so yeah, it's looking kind of good. And as we've seen a minute ago, just the other Clematis Armandii, which I've sort of shown up onto these wires I've got going everywhere. They're quite interesting because I attached the one there, and then all the other growth which was going towards the sun as we were looking at it suddenly turned around of its own accord and folded itself over this way. And the same as this one here, sorry, the light is rubbish. I put this one on the other day, which is on this little wire coming towards us, and then those 2 there, which were tipping over the fence the other way, have sort of tipped themselves back this way. So I don't know whether it's sensed there's something there and it's decided to move stuff, or whether it's just a natural kind of twirling action that climbers tend to do to seek stuff out. But yeah, it's all good. There's another look at the Clematis Armandii, looking fantastic, good for the pollinators as well. Yeah, and although it looks like probably the best cottage garden climber, like I said, it's probably in my mind the best jungle climber as well. So yeah, definitely get yourself one. next up for me is just odds and sods around here, really, until I get the time to do the waterfall, which I'm hoping to do over Easter, but we'll soon see. Anyway, hope you're having a good one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.